Hello, Earth Wizards. It's a beautiful day to talk about X-Men and the Earth. I'm on Lake Washington in Seattle, Washington. And I thought I would come down by the lake and chat with y'all. So, hey, Jasmine. I'll sit by my lake, and there's an amazing mountain over there. If you can see, it's kind of covered up today. There's like mountains over there and mountains over there. Hi, May. Hey, Laura. How are you guys? Thanks for being here. It's funny because a duck is coming to say hello. There's also so much beautiful like green stuff happening and flowers, and it's very much springtime here. There's like trees, and this tree actually last summer had a bald eagle nest. It was amazing. We had bald eagles on the lawn. It was incredible. So yeah, I don't know if anybody's saying hello, commenting. I'm not seeing any comments, so maybe try. And sometimes on the phone you don't see the comments, so oh well. But if you are here, drop a comment and maybe I'll see it. So I was kind of looking at like, well, what could we chat about? And because okay, so I think what I want to do is start actually with some bits about X-Men. And I think this is a month-long thing that is going on in this group, talking about X-Men and the Earth. And it's such a cool topic, and I'm so grateful because, there's so many of us that like, love the Earth and care so much about the Earth, and we would like to see the Earth have a different future and a different reality. We would like to live a different reality with the Earth, and sometimes it just seems like that's not happening or can't happen or whatever. And there's so many ways in the world of like trying to, contribute to the Earth, like, recycling and, but even beyond that, like, just things that are very kind of tangible ways that you think you could make a difference, basically, and have there be a greater reality on the planet. And, first of all, I guess I just want to say, like, know what you know what's true for you. And that's one of the greatest gifts of the X-Men tools for me is it has the conversations about X-Men has really facilitated me to know so much more of what I know, and that is really different. And to also have a greater awareness of what I know because it's so different. X-Men are... they are creatures on the planet like me and you, and it's not about defining X-Men or deciding if you're an X-Men, but they're people, they're creatures that function from a different space. X-Men are often diagnosed as people with ADD, ADHD, OCD, or autism, or any sort of diagnosis that recognizes a deficiency in some way. Could be a mental illness or, something like that sees someone as deficient in some way. But what's going on underneath all of that is actually a lot of brilliance, a lot of capacities, and a lot of energetic awareness and energetic, like being able to function from an energetic reality, basically. That isn't something that's recognized by the rest of the world as a possibility. So an X-Men might have enormous amounts of awareness about different things, and not really know what to do with it, and not even realize that it is awareness, because it shows up in a lot of different ways in our lives and in our bodies. We've got seaplanes. So, yeah, and the seaplane. It's there's a seaplane airport like down there, basically at that end of the lake. It's really cool. In the summer, there's like seaplanes like crazy going. It's fun. So anyway, so when I heard about the tools of X-Men, I was like, I thought it was people that have been diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, OCD, or autism, and I thought it was mostly about kids. And then I started getting into the X-Men conversations and, taking some classes and stuff, and I realized, oh, wait a minute, this isn't about diagnosis, this isn't about kids, this is about me. This is about a lot of us being energetic creatures in the world. And functioning from that, even though we don't know that we function from that. And the tools have given me an opportunity to really just have so much more understanding of how I function and how other people function, like including my children, that is, just so often seen as wrong. So one example, if we look at the earth, like a lot of X-Men have a lot of capacities with the earth. And what do I mean by that? Like an ability to be with the earth, to have a sense of communion with the earth, to perceive what the earth requires, to know how to actually gift the earth different energies, different possibilities that could create a greater future for the earth. And sometimes that also shows up in our bodies. Like one of the things that, a very simple kind of common thing is, like, if you are having pain in your body, it might be actually the earth asking you to contribute to it in some way. And giving the energy of that, whatever that is that's causing pain, like giving it to the earth. You can do a 1, 2, 3 and just sort of like splash the energy into the earth. And that can actually create a change in people's pain. And why do we have pain if we're aware that we could give the earth, if we could contribute something to the earth? Well, because our bodies are so dynamically connected to the earth. They are, the way I see it is our bodies are like part of the organism of the earth. We're not separate from it. So our bodies give us information, the earth gives us information, and it all occurs for X-Men in the form of energy. So it's not going to be cognitive stuff, it's going to be energetic awarenesses. And how do our bodies how do our bodies communicate with us? One of the ways that our bodies communicate with us is through sensation. That's a way that our bodies can get our attention, and through the sensation of pain also, because a lot of people won't pay attention to their bodies unless they're in pain. Once the pain kicks in, they're willing to pay attention to their bodies. So it's actually kind of a efficient way that our bodies and the earth can get our attention, is like through, the sensation of pain. You become aware of it, and then you might actually be willing to do something about it. So for X-Men, and okay, so one of the other things is X-Men have this dynamic, have a very dynamic awareness, and it's unique to each person, how they function, how their brain works. But X-Men brains don't do a lot of left and right brain function. They're more spherical in nature, and X-Men brain is more spherical in nature. So there's a sense of like, I'm gonna see if I can prop my phone on my flip-flop so I don't have to hold it. Yay! Now I have both of my hands. So X-Men brains are like, there's a lot that goes on in an X-Men brain. It's very fast, it's very dynamic. You get huge downloads of energy and awareness and information. You can't necessarily like piece it apart. You can't necessarily know, like slow it down, or know, like function in a linear fashion. There's a lot of spherical activity that goes on for X-Men, where you're getting huge amounts of information energetically, and it could be past, present, future, all occurring simultaneously right now. So you may not know, you may be like, whoa, like there just might be something really big going on for you. It could be something with your body. It could be you're overwhelmed. It could be you don't know what to do, or you're extremely sad. You're like all these different things. But it's really sort of like a lot of times that comes because we don't have any other way to see what it is that's going on with us. And so some sort of intense like emotional experience or physical experience or sense of like not being able to connect or not being able to communicate or not being able to function in a particular way. A lot of times it's because we're faster, more aware, more dynamic, more spherical than the rest of the world, and far more energetic than the rest of the world. So X-Men, this is how a lot of times how X-Men receive information, but nobody's taught this, and for me, like I didn't have a diagnosis of ADD, ADHD, OCD, autism. I'm extremely all of the above. But I was able to navigate school and, I was able to navigate this reality. So I didn't think that it was, I just didn't think that was something that was relevant to me until I started looking from a different point of view and going, oh, wow, I actually function really differently in the world. And I wanted to kind of give some, just like information about X-Men because, and, we have these X-Men classes in Access Consciousness that are just amazing. There's a 1-day class and a 2-day class. There's like intro classes and stuff like that, really start to dive into if the things that go on in your world are not the wrongness of you, perhaps they're the brilliance of you, and you start to look at like flipping everything on its head and saying, wow, you might actually be far more brilliant than you think you are. But there's no context for it in this reality. And so if we look at the earth and like how we are with the earth, it's like we have like X-Men, because X-Men also don't function, they don't know how to function from judgment, but X-Men perceive judgment dynamically. So basically, like, you can look at this as yourself, or, if you have someone in your life that might be, kind of more of an X-Men type of a creature, like, look at all the places where you make yourself wrong, or where they make themselves wrong, or where the world makes them wrong, or you wrong. And the cool thing about the X-Men conversations is it's like you get to flip everything from it's wrong to, whoa, this is brilliance, actually. Just misunderstood because there's no context for it in this reality. So when you start to, and it's so cool to play with these tools and to explore these conversations, because what occurs is you start to develop a capacity for that. Like, I would say that's something that I really do kind of by default now, is look for the rightness of everything, including me, actually, which is so wonderful. Because I get weirder and weirder and more energetic and less verbal and less cognitive, like all the time, in this world, that's a very kind of disturbing, it's sort of like, oh my God, you could be like, I'm going crazy. But for me, it's like, no, I'm becoming more of an X-Men, and in that, there's like, when we don't judge ourselves and how we function, we get to have access to our capacities. And this is where you start to really open up to the space of like, what's actually so right about you that you thought was your greatest wrongness. You thought was something that was so wrong about you, but it's actually so right about you. And you can look at that with the earth too, like looking at the earth from a perspective of X-Men, it's like, well, what's right about everything going on with the earth right now that we're not getting, The earth has amazing capacities to heal, to transform, to change, to adjust, to adapt. And the earth is constantly evolving, and we forget that. Like, we actually forget that the earth is in evolution dynamically and always will be. You know, we study evolution in school or whatever, and you look and you think, oh, you know, I think most people, I've always kind of been like fascinated by this, where I'm like, so people learn about evolution, but somehow they think it's stopped. Like, I don't get that, you know, like, just because there's people here with minds, how is it that evolution isn't happening still? It is, you know, so the earth is evolving. And I would say X-Men actually are very dynamically part of the evolution of the earth and the evolution of what is available for people, you know, humans, humanoids, whatever you want to say. But like, what is available for people in concert with the earth, in communion with the earth, for the creation of a greater future. That is something that is very much like sort of like the wheelhouse of an X-Men. X-Men also have a dynamic awareness of the future and capacities for the creation of a future. And, you know, if you care about the future of the planet, you're a different creature. Like, you know, a lot of people don't ever even think about that. A lot of people just think, you know, where's my next meal coming from, and what's it going to be, and who's going to do what I want them to do, and who isn't, and who do I need to control with my judgment, and what do I need to control with my judgment, and, you know, how can I just like get everything I want to get out of this lifetime and then die, you know? X-Men don't function from that. They don't. And when you try to make yourself normal like everybody else, it doesn't go very well, because that's not who you are as an X-Men. X-Men have this awareness of the earth, awareness of the future, awareness of possibilities, and communion with all of that, and the capacities to actually create a different future. But the thing is that we have to get out of the wrongness of us. You can't receive from anything that you've decided is wrong. Anything that you judge as wrong, including you cannot receive from. So with that, it's like, if let's say you have a brilliant capacity for contributing to healing, you know, of the earth, or like transforming something, like maybe, I mean, because, you know, we have all these amazing body processes in Access Consciousness. Like, you can run them on water to transform water into something that's greater. There's a few different processes you can run on water to make it, you know, go from extremely polluted to, you know, the clear, healthy water. We actually have the capacity to do that with our bodies and with some of these energetic tools and the energetic processes. Now, say you have a dynamic capacity to do something like that, like to contribute to water being different, like healthier, more abundant, more flowing, more available to wherever it needs to go on the planet, to people, all of that. Let's say you have that as like a capacity, but you're not using it, you know, and so there's something maybe that goes on in your body. And none of this is linear. Like, it's not like a doctor would ever know, you know, to like how to diagnose this, right? But let's just say you have something going on in your body, you know, that's like something that feels like a dysfunction to you, you know, or in your life. I mean, it doesn't have to be in your body, but let's just use that as an example. You go to judge it, and you're like, I have this thing, it's going on. Let's just say pain. Okay. I have pain in my back and I can't change it. I haven't been able to change it. Nothing works, right? Well, you've judged that it's pain in your back. You haven't asked the question, what is this? You know, one of my favorite questions, one of the questions you want to function from, what is this? You've judged it as pain. You've judged it as a limitation. You've judged it as wrong. And now you're on the path of like trying to figure out how to fix it, which is all about judgment and computation and conclusion, instead of going, what is this? Okay, I'm going to get really present with this. I'm going to get present with my body. I'm going to get present with me as a different creature. Could it be that is there, what's right about this that I'm not getting? What's right about me that I'm not getting, you know? And you get these, as X-Men, you get these energetic downloads, right? And so the beauty of asking questions is that's way more of how X-Men function X-Men have a capacity for that. Even if you don't think you do, it's because X-Men are so smart and capable that they perceive how this reality works. They learn how to do it, and then they start doing it even better than everybody else, even though it doesn't make any sense to you. Right? So, but that's where we disavow and invalidate our capacities and what's available to us. So let's say this is your body actually showing you, hey, let's play with water. Like, I know something about water, well, the only way you're going to know to do that is if you are present with the energy and present with your awareness, asking questions, getting the information, and trusting it and trusting you. And then you can start to move in a different way with it and be like, oh, cool. Well, maybe my body has some capacities. Okay, body, do you have some capacities with the earth? And your body might be like, yeah, thank you for finally asking, and so now you're getting out of judgment of you, your body, whatever's going on. You also might be judging, oh, water, like, oh, those people, they're polluting the water and blah, blah, like, that's so wrong, So with all of that, like, there's all this awareness that you're refusing because you're just judging, like a good little person in this reality does, right? But when we go to the question, you're functioning so much more naturally, because X-Men do function more like organically. X-Men are curious creatures. They have this capacity to be in question in a way that nobody else does. And the questions that you would be aware of when you're functioning from that are so unique and different. Like, the curiosity that you have is so unique and different. And the earth and your body might be like, hey, like, I'm not going to let you get away with not being this in this lifetime. I'm not going to let you get away with not having this. I'm not going to let you get away with not having your capacities and gifting your capacities to the world and to the earth. And so your body gets your attention through pain. The earth gets your attention through pain. And again, this is just one example. And then it's like, but when you start to pay attention and flip it on its head and be like, wow, what is this? What's the capacity here? What's right about me? What's right about this I'm not getting? Is this a capacity to heal the earth? Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So what could I contribute? Oh, I could give some energy. Oh, I could do some process. I could run some body processes. Oh, I could just ask a question. I could, notice that whenever my body is feeling like this, like, it's time to ask a different question. Maybe it's time to just contribute even more energy to the earth, And the beauty of that is that it's like, this is your greatest skills and capacities for creating anything and everything, whether you consider yourself an X-Men or not. To me, that's not really relevant. It's like the conversation that's so cool, because it's not about defining you or defining X-Men, but you start to function from this, like, valuing the energetic reality that you live from, and seeing that as the dominant, like, the energy, the reality that you want to kind of give your attention to, rather than like, okay, there's polluted water and that sucks and people suck and my back hurts and I suck and I need some Advil, whatever. It's like totally linear reality, which doesn't work, being like, oh, maybe I have a capacity to change this. Oh, maybe that would create more ease for my body. Oh, maybe I would actually be happier and not judge myself as much. And then maybe I could also create more in my life too. And maybe the earth could contribute to that. And maybe my body could contribute to that, and it's like this huge universe opens up of different possibilities that all come from those questions and the willingness to be aware and the willingness to be the energetic creature that you actually are. So, I could talk for days about this. I love this topic. I love facilitating X-Men classes. I love X-Men conversations. To me, like, they're all X-Men conversations, because this world is so not what everybody thinks it is. And X-Men creatures, energetic creatures like us, know that. We make ourselves wrong because we know that. But what if you are truly the evolution of the species, truly something that contributes to a different reality on planet Earth and the evolution of that? And you just have to be willing to be a little bit more weird, weird and wonderful, you know, like the weirdo that you actually are, that you've maybe been fighting and resisting, you know, the energetic creature that you are, the creature of question that you are, the creature that doesn't need to function from knowing what anything is, because you know on a different level, you know energetically rather than cognitively. And it's amazing to see how you can create your whole life from that space, and the earth will contribute, and you creating your life as the beauty that you would like it to be, the abundance, all those things, you know, not having the pain, you know, like having the beauty of your body and all of that, like that is such a dynamic gift to the earth. And it's one of the ways that we actually really we give one of our greatest contributions to the earth is by living from that space, living as the different creature that you are. It's, you know, you might have a lot of stuff swirling in your world from this, and don't try to understand it. Just receive it, take it in, like let it contribute to you. Let the earth show you, let your body show you, let your being show you what else is possible. Ask more questions and play. There's so many tools in Access Consciousness and classes and wonderful things to tap into. And just like, yeah, just know that like you are a gift to the world in ways that you can't imagine, and in the ways that the world can't imagine. You're a gift to the planet in ways that you can't imagine. And when you start to really prioritize the energetic reality that you be, as the thing that is actually what you're interested in, you know, and living and creating from that, so much magic occurs. Like you do become the earth wizard that you are, and the wizard of everything, creation, being, joy, you know, all the things you'd like to have in your life. You become the wizard of that, because you have the information as the unique being that you are. You have the I just lost my signal. We just cut ourselves off from it. So thank you, everybody. I could, like I said, I could just, you know, go for days, but, oh, now I'm seeing your comments. So yeah, another little burst of love from Lake Washington, and from some of the yummy trees and flowers. We have lilacs. It's just a really glorious time of year, green and wonderful. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. It's all of it is like so much simpler than we think it is. When we let ourselves have that, it's like, it's such a gift. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy.